Welcome back to Topher Drives, where today we are back with another 992.2 Porsche 911 GT3. You remember the dark blue Touring we drove in Michigan? Well, this is about the polar opposite of that car. It's not a Touring, and we have this crazy Andial graphics kit on this car, which is due for the 2025 model year, which this is. But as you can see today, we're at the beach. That's the Pacific Ocean. We're in Dana Point right now in California, and I've got to get this thing back to Irvine, where I'm staying tonight. So that's what we're doing today. You guys are going to ride along with me on this little evening commute from the beach. The PCH is right there. You can see there's quite a lot of people on it. I guess it's 5 o'clock, so we should probably get going so we aren't stuck in insane traffic. But I thought I'd walk you around this real quick because we don't often get to start videos at the beach. This is pretty special. So this is pretty basic. It's a white GT3. It's only got about 20 grand in options, which I know is hilarious to say, but for a Porsche, it's kind of a stripper spec. Our most notable options are front end lift. We've got the Bose sound system inside. My favorite one is model designation in exterior color. I think it's funny that they went ahead and did that. Obviously, we'll have the full spec in the description for you, but obviously the star of the show here is this Andial Livery, and this is pretty cool because it pays tribute to Andial, which was a tuning company that built cars for IMSA. You guys know the Porsche 935? That was done by Andial. So these kind of signature colors here, we've got the stickers on the outside. This is a $7,500 option, but Porsche Special Wishes will do this for you. And it's not only the livery, there are some other things. You can see we have this little mat in the back there for our parcel shelf, and inside, get past the stupid door handles, we have Andial floor mats in here too, and this one's been tastefully specced with red seat belts. But that's kind of where this ends. We don't have buckets. We have the sofas, as Porsche people like to call them, even though these are sport seats. If you got these on a regular 911, they're one step up from standard. But otherwise in here, Race Tech steering wheel, Race Tech shifter, Race Tech headliner. Nothing is wrapped in leather. The top of the door panels, the dashboard, it's all just this molded plastic like we saw in the Carrera T we were driving late last year in Michigan. But you guys are going to laugh, but what made me appreciate this car so much was spending just about all day in the new Lamborghini Temerario. And then I got into this, and I just thought to myself, why would you pick anything else for 250 grand, which is what this is? But the Temerario I was driving was 580,000, over double the sticker. I know it's hard to actually get a GT3 for sticker these days, but man, this is an excellent car. I'm excited to go drive it. We'll show you the frunk real quick if you care, but the coolest part about the frunk are the nostrils, but also just the fact that it's carbon fiber. Check this out. And 911s are just so practical. You know, you've got plenty of room. I think I could probably fit in there all balled up in the fetal position. But yeah, 992.2 introduced a couple of new things. I'll have my full review to the 992.2 GT3 in the description for you guys. It was a Touring, but for the most part, it's the same. Biggest difference is we have this wing that hangs off of the back of the car. Such a cool look. But let's go ahead and jump in this thing and take it for a drive. This park is very peculiar because you can't get to it from the road because there's railroad tracks in the way. So you have to go, there's this whole intricate way to get in here, but let's begin our journey. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video, but this will just be a fun little drive in a GT3. So let's fire it up. My favorite thing about the GT3 is that for the 992.2 generation, they didn't take away the little entry and drive switch. So unlike a base Carrera, Carrera S, a GTS, anything that's not a GT car, you just have a little push button now. Now, unfortunately, they did take away the actual mechanical tachometer that was in the middle, but I think these digital gauges look okay. They're definitely no substitute for what we had before, but that is just the way that it is now. And this is a press car, so there's no account on here, so you have to go through a million steps to get it to do what it needs to do. Anyway, though, Charlie sent me a destination to head to, and this will just be our first stop, and then we're going to keep on going to where I'm staying tonight. But we've got a little 17-minute, 7-mile drive to blast inland. But first, we'll kind of just take in the sights and sounds of the beach, and we'll leave this in normal mode to not disturb the people. But you can see our camera situation here only reversing. We don't have a 360 camera on this. Luckily though, we've got that front end lift, so that makes this easier to get in and out of places. It's currently February when this is being filmed, and Michigan is miserable right now. It was 17 degrees when I left a couple of days ago. And this is just what I fantasize about. This is what I dream about. It's not even the GT3, it's this. It's being where it's 70 degrees, where I can hear waves, where there's a beautiful sunset. And you know, the GT3 is just the icing on the cake. So excited to kind of blow off some steam in this car tonight and just have a good time. I mean, you guys know I love this car. It's one of my favorite cars in the entire world. That GT3 Touring, I said, was like one of the best cars I've ever driven. So this drives exactly the same for the most part. This doesn't have the light bow package, so it doesn't have the carbon fiber door panels and things. But this car's a pretty good representation of what you get as standard in a GT3. This is kind of James May spec. And I mean, you can take this thing through potholes, you can do all that stuff, and it soaks it up okay. Geez, I always say that my main goal when I'm in a city is not to run over a pedestrian, but now I'm in a park and I'm thinking the same thing. Alright, so we're going to get this out onto the PCH. Honestly, we may as well just put this straight into sport mode right now, because that is the only way I want to drive a GT3. We're away from most of the people at this point too, so we can open up that exhaust flap and hopefully not offend anyone. This has a lovely auto blip system as well as no lift shift, both of which we will be using today. And for this little speed bump here, we can use our front end lift. And this also has memory, so you can save this location. I'm not going to do it because I don't think I'll be back here. But if this was your driveway or something, it would be convenient for you to be able to save it. Seriously though, I mean, what else sounds like that? Did I talk about the powertrain in the beginning of this video? Did I do it? I don't remember if I did. We'll talk about it in a second. Best car ever. Anyway, behind us is a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6 making 502 horsepower and 331 pound-feet of torque. This one's a 6-speed manual, but Porsche will sell you a PDK if you don't want to use the clutch pedal. Funny enough, I've actually never driven one of these with a PDK, so I don't know what that's like. I suspect it's fantastic because the GT4 RS, just kill that. The GT4 RS has a PDK, and that's one of my favorite cars ever too, so I suspect this would be pretty similar. But the manual does such a good job as well that I can't imagine complaining about either transmission. Whenever I start to think about something I don't like about the GT3, I just do that, and then suddenly, magically, the thought escapes me. Though I was just gonna say, this is a bit cheap for $250,000. I complained about it in the 911T. I need to be consistent and say, come on, Porsche. This should be leather stitched or something. for my $250,000. I know you can option on extended leather like we had in that GT3 Touring, but this is just a little bit much, I think, to have. I know this car is pure, it's a driver's car, all the stuff, but that just doesn't do it for me. The steering wheel, on the other hand, absolutely exquisite. Wrapped in race text, white stitching. You got your drive mode selector here, but I just think Porsche does the best steering wheels out of anybody. Lanes there. I don't know that people in Michigan would be able to navigate something like that. It's always interesting seeing the different sort of roads in other states, because not every state in the US is created equal, especially when it comes to the roads and rules and things. Sometimes you don't know what's going on. But the GT3, it doesn't beat you up around town, which I thought maybe was a touring thing, but I've been driving this now for half the day, and it hasn't beat me up at all. I mean, yeah, the ride's firm, but it's not chattering my teeth out. Auto blip system is fantastic. Now, I know the wing's cool, but the reason I'd get a touring is because you can actually see out the back of it. This is pretty obstructed. I mean, you pay the price, you know what you're getting. But the touring, it does what this car does, just with a little bit less downforce. I always think it's fun to do a touring though, because like the ability to spec a touring is just so much different than a regular car. Like if I was gonna get a regular GT3, I'd get it in guards red and I'd get race text everywhere, and you know, I would do stupid exterior color options and whatever else. But if I was gonna get a touring, I'd get like a dark blue or a dark green with a tan interior. But it's the same car, they just take the wing off. But like the buyer is different for that car. The whole like vibe of speccing the vehicle is just a little bit different, if that makes sense. I truly don't know which one I'd pick. I think I'd probably go touring. But from where I'm sat right now and from what I've been doing today, I can't tell the difference, and that is fantastic. I think this particular car has a bit of a track alignment right now because the camber is very aggressive on the front. Makes it so it's very darty, as you can see. Able to shift this thing pretty fast. The shifter is just fantastic. When I think about a good shifter, this is the car I think of. It's notchy, the throws are perfect length, it's not too heavy, it's precise, it's not rubbery. It's just perfect. It's what I want to change gear on my car. The end. That is it. Brakes are a little bit squeaky. Might have some kind of a track pad on this right now. This car's got almost 5,000 miles on it, so I don't know what it's seen prior to me. Taking it easy for the time being. I don't know this neighborhood, so... But the cool thing about this car, and again, after getting out of the Temerario, which has almost double the power of this, it's nice to be in something that's fast, but not so fast that it feels like you literally can't use any of the power ever. I mean, this is like kind of approaching unusable territory because it's got 500 horsepower, but compared to the Temerario, this is what I want. It's interesting also on the GT3, these buttons in the middle are different than they are on just a standard 911. So on this, we've got front end lift, quick access to your driver assist, and then quick access to turning off ESC and things. I guess in California, they still don't know how to use roundabouts. They can do the 3 lanes turning in one direction, but they can't do a roundabout. Anyway, it's basically every input in this car that is nothing short of perfection for me. And it took me a few days to get used to that GT3 Touring I was driving a few months ago. But once you get in the groove with this car, you never really want anything else. I mean, come on. Oh, important work to do. Hold on. I don't know how much it's going to echo. Oh wait, there's another one! It's not time for the windows to be up yet. Hold on. I'm gonna just bounce it off of this. Hold on. This is one of those cars where I just want to spam the controls. Speaking of that, let's do a launch control. The person in this Kia might be a little bit nervous there. You know what? I can probably do a launch control in sport. I don't need to. There's nobody coming. Is there? No. We'll just stop right here and do it real quick. What a machine this is. What a machine. What a thing this car is, man. I would do things to have one of these. I'm gonna go back the other direction and do that again. Test our turning circle here. Quite good. Quite good. You guys ready? We should compare that to Windows Up for research purposes. I don't think it's going to be as good, but we ought to try. I love this car. I love this car so much. All right, all right. Let's go to where we actually have to go now. Stop doing loops around the dump. This is actually a dump here. This is why it's why there's just kind of nothing else around. Another good turning circle test for us. Symphony. Ready? I don't care about anything else. Only this. All right. Mustn't do another launch control from this light. We won't do it next to the In-N-Out burger. But you know what's funny about this car is, I know it's Andial, but it's the same color as In-N-Out burger and Shell, actually, as I found. I was at Shell earlier, and it matched that too. So, well, now I think it's time to relax with a sunset and 6th gear, as opposed to 2nd and 3rd, and occasionally 1st, and just reflect back on what it's been like to live with this today. It's so funny that, you know, this is marketed as a pretty hardcore track-ready car, yet I've got a squishy place to rest my elbow on both sides. And the sofa seats, the actually quite nice sport seats in this, are pretty comfortable too. The seating position is perfect. I can see everything I need except for out the back because there's a spoiler there. But it's just such a perfect package. I just wish Porsche wasn't so stingy about stuff. Like, wrap the dashboard in leather, give me more stuff for the base price. I like that they offer lots of options, that's fine, but certain things just should be standard, I think, at this point. It does at least have a cup holder over there. See that? Out of all of them, though, this has my favorite option, which is the extended range fuel tank. It's only like $300 to option it on, and it gives you 22 gallons of capacity, which means we've been driving this all day hard, continuously at 9,000 RPM, and it still has half a tank at 169 miles of range. So if you're going to be doing lots of track work, definitely opt for that, or really just tick that box no matter what, because it's usable anytime. You know, you don't have to be on a racetrack to get your use out of the extended range fuel tank. This car is so base model, it doesn't even have the Sport Chrono package. Cycle here through all of our different gauge options. Oh, the brakes. This one's cool because you get all 5 pods, like how the 911 used to be, except now that there's a digital gauge cluster, they all fit within the steering wheel. So it's the only perk of having this all digital. So then what's this like in traffic? Well, if you can get past that, it's honestly quite all right, because as we've somewhat talked about already, all of the inputs in this are pretty easy. The steering isn't too heavy. It's easy to see out of, but I think just as far as driving this car, it's not scary, it's not intimidating, and it's pretty easy to get smooth with it once you're in the groove. And this goes for driving it fast, driving it regularly, like when you're in traffic like this. Clutch isn't super heavy. And honestly, this 4-liter flat 6 is not super loud, unless you're pushing it like over 5, 6, 7,000 RPM. And I'm even in sport mode right now, so I've got that little flap open. It's fine. It's German, so it's telling me to change gear all the time. But you can obey it when you're just driving normally like this, and it'll be good for some MPG. Yeah, the highest rating this car has is its highway rating, and that's 18 MPG. Average, you're looking at 15, 13 in the city. Not the best, which is another reason it's important to get this extended range fuel tank. Pass on the entrance ramp? That's cool. Oh, this is one of those entrance ramps that has a light. Oh, that's okay. Ooh, we can do a launch control. Zero to 45. You guys know that that little short film that I think was it Top Gear or Grand Tour? I can't remember. Come on, dude, accelerate. Why do they do this? Anyway, Top Gear made this short film, and it was a GT3 where they were making fun of launch control. They were like, when do you actually ever use launch control in the real world? And we're just driving around in a GT3, and every time the car stopped, it would do launch control. And it ended with, there was a scene where they were carrying out a casket from a funeral, and the GT3 pulls up, and it does a launch control, and it's just the funniest thing ever. And that just made me think of it. These cars do look great at night, too. I love the little strip taillight that they have on the back. Interesting, the HOV lanes here. Charlie told me he brings his baby with him so he can use it. That's something I never thought of. I mean, technically a baby's another person, but taking a baby, you're allowed to use the HOV lane. It's just such a weird thing to think about. Also, these highways make weird sounds. You guys hear that? The GT3, it's a little loud on the highway. This is just the way these cars are, though. I mean, you're not buying something like this and expecting it to be completely silent like a Maybach. It's got a Cup 2 on it as well, which is a very loud tire, so not really much working in its favor tonight to be quiet. But I don't care, because you don't buy this car to be quiet in any sense. And you know what? It does fine. My sofas here, which don't have lumbar adjust, which is a little bit of a bummer, but you are able to get these sport seats in an 18-way configuration where they do, and they have lots of other customization as well. These are just very standard. They go up and down, and the backrest is power, but they're manual sliding back and forth, so it's so funny how many different configurations you can get your seats in. Your same seat, not even a bucket seat. We do have cruise control in this, but it's nothing special at all. Usually these Porsche dials, I cruise control. Oh, there you go. So you can toggle that on and off. Doesn't have adaptive cruise or anything special, but I do like that it's a separate thing from the steering wheel, this little stalk that comes out of the column. I'm never mad about those. Suspension travel in this, so if you do end up on something that bounces you up, the car will only bounce up so far. I wanted to come up by this other 911 so you guys can see what this car looks like at night. This is, I think, a Turbo S. Yes. chalk Turbo S with yellow seat belts. Ooh, look at this first gen Mr. 2. I don't think we have the fancy headlights in this like this Turbo S has either, the PDLS or whatever they call those. You probably can't see through his tints, but he did reciprocate the thumbs up. I'm excited to drive the new Turbo S. Hopefully that'll happen this year. The last time I drove a Turbo S, I thought that was the fastest car I'd ever driven, and then I drove the Taycan Turbo GT, and then today I drove the Temerario, and I don't know what to think anymore. I think that these cars are getting too fast, and the GT3 is just kind of the perfect power level. I don't think we really ever needed to be faster than this. I love all the mechanical feelings and the mechanical sounds with this car. The ka-thunk when you put it into first gear. Chassis harmonics here. Just so special. Such a special car, and you want to throw the word soul around. This car is soul. Every part of it. What a machine, and what a way to start out my week here in California. I just got done with my little Toyota event, and now I got some other things going on, but this was a nice little reminder that I still love cars. What a thing this car is. I mean, seriously. Alright guys, well if you stuck around till this point in the video, I do appreciate it. We haven't hit 9,000 RPM in a while, so you're kind of just sitting around listening to me talk. So appreciate you hanging out with me today in the 992.2 GT3. Just had to drive another one, you know, just to confirm how much I like it. And well, we're confirming that today here, so We'll go up here and we'll park, and then we'll give you a tour of what this looks like at night. We'll show you the headlights and the taillight and the hazards and all that stuff. And we'll wake up the entire neighborhood with our brakes in the process. I don't know if this will need the front end lift for here, but we're gonna deploy it anyway just to be safe. Down. Get this pulled right up here. Behind my Integra. Look at the fleet this week, guys. What do you think about it? This will be the only GT3 video, though. We don't have this one for very long, so just wanted to get a quick little drive in this, and actually I'm going to leave ignition on so the headlights stay on so you guys can see. But I don't want to idle this thing while we're outside of houses. You can see here, just such a cool look. Does this have the four little? I guess it kind of does with these lights, but let's put the hazards on too. Yeah, pretty cool. Alrighty guys, well that's going to wrap it up for us today. You can see those front DRLs go back and forth from white to orange, but that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching, and thanks for riding along in what is still one of the best cars I've ever driven. It's so good. I never want to stop driving it, but unfortunately, I have to. So that's going to wrap it. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.